Hey guys, what's rockin'? It is Little Bat here with 41 Tunes. Today I'm going to show you my sit-down interview with the guys of Sikes and the New Violence. And my first question is, like, you guys are just so unique in like everything you do. So what would you say would like you start with? You have like multiple genres, multiple vocals, all kinds of instruments. When you're writing, what comes first, or is it kind of just a combination of different things for different songs?
I tend to just have like half ideas of beats. Back before I had the band, I would like have half of a beat, and then I'd be like, oh crap, I have to make the other half of this beat. But now I kind of leave it open for Justin and Evan to lay down their thing. So it all starts with the music, always. It's never like I have lyrics or anything and then I write a song to that. It always starts with the music, and then we add to that.
Cool. And then, so since you put so much into each song, how long would you say it takes to work on a single song?
Oh, that's nuts. There's songs that we've had that, I mean, we've kind of gotten together like on like one or two little sessions here, and like everything just plops out. Mm-hmm. And then there's songs where like we really struggle. So that's a case by case scenario. It's like songs are like days of the week. Some are just easier than others.
That's a good way of putting it.
What about this album? Because I know some of the songs you have been working on for a really long time, because I've heard them before, but they're so different on this album. So how long has Mondern Modesty taken?
Well, somebody else can say something.
The timeline? Well, I mean, some of these songs...
Evan came in halfway
Yeah,
through,
some of these songs were already played out before I was even participating in the writing process, so...
Pretty close to 2 years?
About 2.5, almost 3 years, honestly.
Was it? Almost
3? Like so...
Oh, you know
when
what?
I released,
because we were playing... Yeah, okay.
I mean, we've been playing 10 years for a while, and then
Yeah.
calling it quits, we were playing for a while. Everything Uncomfortable, we were playing for a while. Yeah, literally. It's actually... It's by the time 10 years came out, the song should have actually been called 12 years. But whenever we released the album before this, I've Seen Better, the day of our release party, the night of our release party, my laptop got stolen out of a car in the South Side.
I
Do you
remember
remember that?
And actually, I had already had the beats for what would be Bathwater, and I think Calling It Quits, maybe? Back to Japan. It was Back to Japan and Bathwater. I'd already made beats for those based around these samples, and those songs were already started. And then the laptop got stolen. I remember the first thing that I did whenever I got my new computer back was I had to try to remake those songs like from memory, because they were totally toast. They were gone.
Wow.
So yeah, some of that stuff like goes all the way back to like 2015.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but
it's good to like
The process.
draw things out. Like I was watching a video earlier that I made in 2012 and doing a little like a review of it, and I'm just like crazy how similar I am, but like different. But I'm working on some ideas that I started even then. So it's cool that like some things take longer than
The art, the creative process.
I mean, like we had honestly like there was a draft of Mondern Modesty done before Evan even was in the picture.
It's true.
But we were like at this point where just something didn't feel right with the songs, like, and that's why it wasn't released. It just nothing was clicking. And just little did we know the missing piece was Evan.
Filled in some blanks. That really was it. Come over and hung out and talked about some tunes and okay, this is cool. This works.
I originally asked him just to play guitar on Halloween because I thought the song needed some guitar. And then it became like, okay, well that was pretty tight. Well, maybe this song could be something. And then I was like, oh, I guess you're in the band now.
I just rolled with it. Yeah, I was having a good time, so here I am. I lucked out. Yeah.
I think it worked out well. I like everything. Set was great the other day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
So on each of these tracks you have like movie quotes. Are those from something, or like did you come up with all that? Or?
Sure, no, it's all taken from like 1950s and 60s like educational propaganda.
Okay.
And the highbrow fancy pants reason why I used all that stuff is like the concept of the album and Mondern Modesty and all of the songs having to deal with like what do you think, like what is modesty in 2018 or 2019? Like the concept of modesty is kind of like completely out the window. Like nobody's really modest anymore. Everybody's all like a fucking rock star according to the internet, you know what I mean? And like but nobody really knows how to like function. It seems like a lot of people don't understand how like function on like a normal face-to-face human level. And I thought it would be a really funny contrast to like put in quotes from all of these like 1950s and 60s things that they used to show to like school children and stuff about how to be better in society and how to be good people. And now it's like we don't have that anymore. I'm not saying that was a good thing, but I just thought it would be like an interesting contrast because the world is so different now, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I know each one ties in like perfectly. So it was. Yeah, did you re-voice those, or was that?
No, those are all pulled directly from.
Okay. Because it was like the same voice, so I didn't know if it was.
Some of them are the same voice. They're not all the same. Some of them are pretty similar, and some of them were like different videos narrated by the same people. I just kind of like did a deep dive on the internet and started looking into a bunch of those videos. They're there.
Yeah.
So I just kind of found ones that lucked out that were appropriate for the songs and just plopped them in, you know.
Well, I think there's some good lessons in there, and you guys have some reoccurring like themes or like messages you're trying to get out there, like being yourself, doing what you want, like going for it, but you also have to work hard. What would you say, each of you, like your message that stands out the most from this album that you're trying to put out there, or just that you yourself felt connection to?
I want to let somebody else talk.
You can go first.
I definitely agree that, you know, I'm not the lyricist in the band or anything, but I agree that those themes come out, and I think that, I mean, a lot of that has, like, we're just playing in this band, in this artistic outlet, and enjoying just because, you know, we're just being ourselves and having fun, and it's a great thing, and it makes you feel good, and I think it's good to encourage other people to kind of like look in the mirror and think about what makes them happy, and to push themselves and to think differently, and to I don't know, to just go for it and have fun in life.
I want to hear from you. You've been quiet so far.
I know, I'm super quiet today. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can pinpoint one song that in particular, as far as like the lyrics behind it, that's my favorite. My favorite overall is Halloween, just because I just like the way that it feels musically, and also once I got to hear like the final lyrics from it, I was like, I really like the concept behind this as well, because in a way, like, that kind of resonated with me as like a kid in like high school, like going to a party. Like I always felt like I was like underdressed or not cool, or I don't know, it just kind of felt that way.
Yeah.
And even like as a 40-year-old man, I can still feel that way in certain situations, and that just kind of resonates with me. But overall, like, you know, lyrics like, you know, be yourself, things like that, like, I think they're important for anybody to hear, especially in today's society where, like, with social media, things like that, like, you can get a lot of that negative stuff thrown at you. So for Brian's lyrics and, like, the music for us behind it to kind of be a little positive, that'd be great for people to take it that way.
Yeah, I think it's very positive, but you have a lot of real life things in there. I mean, you have the calling it quits. I mean, we all want to call it quits sometimes, but just pushing through that and, you know, just keep doing you.
Yeah, I think that it's really important just to, if you want to do something, just do it. Like, I don't know. The only person stopping you is yourself, really, at the end of the day. And if there's somebody beside yourself that's stopping you from doing what you want to do, you need to, you know, as a wise man Vanilla Ice once said, drop that zero and get with the hero. The hero being yourself.
How'd I get what I got? How'd I get what I got? I did whatever I want. Take notes, and you can have this too. And you can have this too.
I think that it's important to be able to, you know, be proud of who you are and simultaneously not be too proud of who you are, you know. I think that there's always work to be done with ourselves, but I think that, you know, for me, just like looking up to people that I think that are always challenging themselves and humble and kind to others, you know. I find that, you know, with Nosedive in particular, that's the song that you referenced, I think that there's like always this fun, braggadocious, like egotistical thing to hip hop. And that's kind of like saying like my only role model is my goddamn self is kind of like my spin on like the braggadocious thing, but also like in a very like positive, like self-fulfilling light, not like in a, oh, like I'm fucking cool because like I have, you know, I have X, Y, or Z, or, you know, I have A, B, and C by my side. It's just like, you know, I look up to myself because I work hard, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And also just like not, I don't know, I think it's really silly to like take other adults, I don't know, to like look up to other adults. Like if you're an adult looking up to another adult, I don't know, it's just silly. I think you should keep your focus inside your bubble to some degree and focus on like yourself and your family and the people around you. At the end of the day, that's usually what matters most than like what's out there.
I agree. Actually, from that video I was watching earlier, it was like a collage of my life, and I hadn't rewatched it since I made it. But I made that point then. I was like, thank you to my friends and family, even friends that aren't part of my life. And then rewatching it today, I was like crying, but that's really like, that's what's most important is your friends and family. And then if you have fans and stuff, that's awesome. And sometimes they become your friends, and then you hang out like this.
Yeah.
But,
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I say that shit at shows a lot, and I hope that like people don't think that I'm like being sarcastic or a turd or something. I'm like very genuine in that. Like, you know, don't take the people in your life for granted because like you never know what could happen. You know, something terrible can happen, or like you could just be a turd and then you won't have it.
right.
A lot of people work really, really hard to have like the most simple things, like to have like friends or somebody they can rely on. You know, I know a lot of people, not a lot. I know some people that have a lot, but they simultaneously don't have anything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because
it's like
they're jerks.
The quality, not the quantity.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
I'd
go.
like
Quality
to say
over
that
quantity.
to like
Yeah.
all my friends. They're like, I don't have any friends. I was like, well, you got me. And then like, I mean, I think I try to be the best friend I can, but I think we all have them too, but sometimes we just get messed up in our own, and we're just so like, we worry about your best friend, someone you see all the time, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
It's also one of those things that life just kind of happens.
Yeah, as
Like,
you get,
as you get older, and like, I mean, you know, somebody that's 40, like most of like, say like my friends from 10 years ago, you know, are married, have kids, and work a full-time job. So like they're busy like all the time.
Mhm.
I'll see them every once in a while, and that's fine. Sucks sometimes, but
But you know they're there.
but they're there. But even like my friend Mitch lives in, where does he live now? Salt Lake City. Every few months we'll hit each other up. Be like, what's up, dude? What's good?
Mhm.
And they'll be like, hey, seeing you doing this. How's Sikes going? They're like, oh, good, dude. Like, album's about to come out. Cool. Like, send me a link to it whenever it's done. Like, just little things like that. How the kids doing? But yeah, it's important to keep up with those people.
Yeah. Don't, it gets harder as you get
yeah.
older. Everybody has their own thing going on too. It's not always about you. It can be really easy to be unfortunately
yeah.
selfish in that, like, why does nobody have time for me? I was like, because maybe they have, like, we all have our own shit going on.
We all have
And the other
projects.
thing too, I think that, a lot of social media has, I don't know, it's convinced us that we're capable of obtaining or being responsible for way more friendships than any of us could ever realistically be.
For real.
That we could ever, like, manage.
Like,
you can't manage having
yeah.
2,000 or 3,000 friends in real life, but I have 2,000 or 3,000 friends on Facebook supposedly.
Right.
I can't manage that. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Here's a great example. Same person, Mitch. We lived 3 blocks away from each other growing up, but like we'd hang out all the time. It was like because we were close together, and like we could ride up to each other's house, see if we're there. But we'd have like a group of like 5 friends total, like in that neighborhood. But outside of that, there was basically nobody. But today, like you'd be like, I have 3,000 friends, and
It's time consuming.
Yeah.
It's very. You ever
really
look at like a
time-consuming.
famous person's social media account and notice how like they're following like 25 people?
mm-hmm.
You know why? Because that's all they have time for.
Yeah.
So if they don't even, if like Drake, I don't know how many people he follows on Twitter, but let's just anybody, you know what I mean? Like, but if somebody of that level can't manage having more than like 50 people that they keep track of on social media, how are any of us supposed to?
Can you imagine if they say like they got a new update to their iPhone and it reset their notifications for like their Instagram, where it was blocked or like shut off, so they didn't get a bazillion notifications like posted something. Imagine if that got flipped, because it's happened to me on my phone sometimes. Like my settings will get messed up. Just imagine that, sitting there and be like, your phone's just blowing up for an hour.
Lots of
Just
people
constant.
love Drake.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Be like, oh man, love you, Drake.
See
Yep.
every single one.
F you, Drake.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of hate too.
Oh,
Probably a
I'm
lot
sure
of
it's
hate too.
a nightmare. I couldn't even imagine.
I'm just thinking like the opposite. What if it erased all the people you were following, not your followers? Like, just think like who would be the people that you would remember to follow? Like they'd be your friends,
Your
they'd be
squad,
family.
yeah.
Maybe a few people. Like there's a few tattoo artists that like I watch on TikTok. Actually, that's a whole thing that I feel like I'm 12 because I'm obsessed with. But there's like some really cool people on there that I'd make sure I follow them because I'm their fan. But just you not answering this here. Like our viewers think of that too. Like who would be your top 3 or 5 that you would go follow, and then that's your group. Like that's the people we're talking about that you might not think you have. Like you.
The really.
Those would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, those would be those people.
But you can keep a real chuck. Keep your head up, stay strong, stay tough. Grab like by the throat, yeah, I heard it like say right.
Let's talk about the art, because you guys put a lot into that artwork. You have artwork for each song and trading cards. Where did that idea come from? And just did you each put into that, or who made it? Where the ideas come from? for
He's
the
the
artwork?
mastermind in
So,
the art.
That guy right there.
so the artwork pieces themselves were made by an artist on Instagram who's at like Killer's X, and I basically commissioned him to do all of the entire album. Originally, he did what is the album cover. That was a T-shirt design that we were gonna do
Oh yeah.
like a while ago, and then I was looking at it and I was like, I think I want this to be my fucking album cover. So I pulled the T-shirt down. We never printed them and just kind of kept it quiet. I was like, I'm gonna use this as the album cover. People forget about shit. They didn't remember at all, so it was tight.
I didn't remember. Too. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So after I decided that was gonna be the album, I don't know what gave me the idea exactly to do something for each song. I just knew that I was gonna need graphics for. The more graphics you have, the better. So I just kind of hit him up and I was like, I want to do some more stuff. I was thinking about this, and like his prices were really reasonable, and I was like, look, like I think I might just have you do, like, I'm gonna commission 10 designs from you. He was like, cool, and gave me a price, and I gave him the song titles and some general ideas, and
Went from there.
he did it from there. But then, like, once I had the designs, the trading card thing, that was, I was trying to think of, like, a funny way to release physical media for the album that wouldn't be a CD or a cassette tape or a record. I don't know exactly where the trading card thing came from. I think that I have, like, a pack of the movie Reanimator, the horror film. I have a pack of Reanimator trading cards. I think that maybe they were just laying around, and I just happened to look at them, and like the light bulb just went off, and I was like, I could like take all that art that he made, and I could make trading cards. So I designed the trading card template and did all that stuff, and designed the back, and did all the text layout and everything, and yeah. So there was that.
I think it's a really cool idea.
Thanks.
Like I think more people should do that. That'd be
We've
like,
gotten a lot of good feedback on it.
Yeah.
I've
because I mean you can just like keep your favorite one in your wallet. You can hang them on a wall. Like
Yeah.
I think you should continue that with
I
other
think-
albums. And
I think that one of the things that I really miss about music, and I try not to be like nostalgic too much or romanticize old ideas, but the whole idea of interacting with music. I remember being a kid, I would go to the mall, I would find the CD that I wanted, I would put it in my Discman, and I would like flip through the CD booklet and, you know, listen to the thing.
Mhm.
I know, okay, those days are gone. I'm not an idiot.
I miss it a little bit.
I miss it.
But
I miss it.
I think that there is, you know, I'm not arguing that, you know, we need to bring CDs back, and like I think, you know, very same thing can be said about vinyl. Like you could put on a record, sit down, look at it, that's cool. But I'm not gonna say I think people should do that. But I do think there is something where if you're listening to all your music digitally, you're missing this potential for interaction or connecting with it on a level that really makes it meaningful. Like some of my favorite albums, I have memories attached to them of me. Like I think about the artwork. I think about the way the inside of the layouts of things were. Maybe that's just my art brain, but like those memories mean a lot to me. So I want to be able to potentially provide that for anybody else out there that might be as nerdy as me or either guys. An opportunity. You know, it's like, well, if you just want to listen to it digitally, you can. But if you really want to nerd out, you can like check out these trading cards, and there's little facts about the songs on the back of the cards, and you can interact in that way. Just a different way to interact with the album.
I think interacting makes memories because I mean, I don't remember the first time I listened to like a lot of my favorite songs or the new albums or anything. Also, when I'm buying, I don't want to buy them on iTunes or something. I actually want something physical, but that's just me. I even remember one time, I think it was Hawthorne Heights because I'm an emo weirdo, but
Ew.
I got their new album.
Get out of here.
It's all fine. I got their album and just like the show was in like 2 weeks. I just sat there and read along with the lyrics until I memorized every single lyric. It's not fun. Like you can do that on the computer screen, but I mean, it was just
It's not the
this
same.
is like a good
It's,
memory.
I'm sure it
of,
stuck to your brain more that
Yeah.
you did that too.
like I
you know?
wanted to know. I didn't want to be like the silly girl
Well,
out there
there's
singing
some-
along.
I'm
It's
sure
like
you
me
remember.
it's like me with like reading books. I like to have like a physical book as opposed to like a Kindle.
Mhm.
Though like Kindle's cool. Like if you're on tour, you can have a crap ton of books on like one device. But something about me like being on the road, like having a physical book where I can sit down and like read it, and it's same with like records. Like
I think
putting on a record and looking through it, and I don't know,
I think
just a
that,
better attachment to it.
you know, like something with like your Hawthorne Heights CD. You know, there was obviously artwork in the layout of the lyrics, however it was, it all creates an environment, and it's like the universe of that album. And you can really get sucked into it versus just looking at it on like some random Lyric Hub website, you know what I mean? Like, I think that there's a lot of just visual elements and like making a genuine connection with music that I don't see a lot of people going out of their way to do anymore. It happens for sure, people do it, but I just want to make sure if I'm putting anything out that I'm at least having that opportunity in there too. And then also with the concept of like Mondern Modesty, You know what I mean? Like, what would be more fun than, and more modern than a pack of trading cards? Because, like, who the fuck buys baseball cards anymore? You know what I mean? We even had, like, if you had the CD pack, like, whenever you open it up, it's, like, on a greeting card. And then it says, thank you for supporting a dead format with the CD inside. So it's all very just, it really plays into the concept of, like, being modest. Like, this is it. Here it is. You know, you get some fucking trading cards and a CD. It's all technically useless. But
We think it is. And there's us, and there's tons of people out there like us. I mean, there's some people who don't want that, but, I mean, I think most people probably would do that. Maybe not younger kids, I guess. I'm not.
As a
a
fan of
kid,
bands, you know, I love that kind of stuff. You know, it might be generational, but I'm more apt to go after something with a little bonus material. Who doesn't like bonus material? So
yeah,
like,
I think
you
that,
know,
I mean, it's going to be hard whenever we're really getting into a generation of kids and a generation of youth who are going to be driving the culture coming up, that are growing up in a very minimalist time in terms of, like, material possessions, when it comes to, like, movies or music or anything like that everything's digital. So I could totally understand why the concept of something like our project, or even just a CD in general, like, how it just seems completely absurd to them. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people live in their phones. You know what I mean? Like, that is like, do you still think, this is actually a really interesting question, and you probably had a pretty fucking cool bedroom when you were a kid, right? Like, you had, like, posters and shit hung up on the walls. Like, I had fucking, like, you know, pictures of Slipknot ripped out of magazines,
Yeah.
Cradle of
Yeah.
Filth taped up on my fucking wall and shit. Like, do you think kids still do that?
I
Or is it
hope-
all, are kids'
man.
phones their new bedroom?
So, I
I don't
would
know.
think, but,
Because they probably don't go get magazines a whole lot.
yeah.
I mean, they might get a.
I mean, if you're,
They might get
I know you could buy a Bring Me the Horizon poster at Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, like,
that shows.
Like we
Yeah.
sell, you know, we sell posters at Guitar Center, but like it's, you know, it's like Tupac and like Biggie
But
and
you-
Lady
but
Gaga.
sure.
Yeah, but like those kids might do that.
I just want to know
or
if kids still have crazy bedrooms,
I
or
guess-
if they're,
Or is
it
it
all
like
is just
a-
in their phone.
I guess it would depend
or
on
a
what
computer
kind of kid
screen.
they are.
Well,
or a computer screen in the room where it's like,
the point that I was getting
Yeah.
at was, like,
Crazy.
I think that, you know, with everything kind of being in this device, of course, like, why would I need a CD? Because I live in this thing. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. It's just,
It's
you're
how
in
it
this
works.
thing. Anybody that's watching this right now is in the thing with us.
Yeah.
Hi. But, so obviously, why not just have your whole catalog of music a couple swipes over?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't I
I
actually miss even like in my car. I thought the other day it's like I miss like putting in like a physical CD, and I have a CD player in my car still. And it's like I miss like having a booklet of albums and being like, I'm gonna put in this whole CD and I'm gonna listen to the whole effing thing, because I don't want to have to take out the CD and like find another song like, and then like I just like most albums I bought, like I liked the entire album. And I was really disappointed with the band if there was like 2 or 3 like stinkers on it where I'm like, you just tossed it in. You're like, yeah, we got to get this album done. Just throw these 3 on there. I don't know. I just kind of miss like that whole like, you have to play. You don't have to, but in my mind, the way my mind works, I'm like, if I put an album in, I have to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or like when I put a record on, it's like, well, I got to listen at least the whole side.
Or even, like, just hanging out with friends and somebody being like, yo, you gotta check this thing out.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, like,
like,
it's
going
so
over and
commonly
dropping
now
it.
where it's like, we're just sending each other links online that, like, I very rarely even open up.
You used to have to take so much
Yeah.
time out of your day. Your friend got a
Like-
movie that you needed to see,
Yeah.
or there was an album that they got that you needed to hear,
Oh, yeah,
and I had to get to their house, like find a way there,
I-
get my homework done. I think I saw the benefits from the other end as well too, where the global internet. I discovered bands. I remember that I just downloaded. I heard someone be like, "Yo, you need to listen to whatever,"
The
and
internet.
I downloaded it and would have maybe I would have never discovered that band before, but I listened to it for the first time there and was like, I'm sold.
My access to the internet came in a horribly convenient time, and I never thought about this until just now. So I'm having
Exclusive.
a brain turd right now. So I got my first computer in my house right after I graduated high school. And that was simultaneously, I didn't really keep in touch with a whole lot of people that I went to high school with after high school. Some people moved, some people had like weird falling outs with, and just nonsense. So I kind of got to a point where like the people that like I listened to metal with and shared metal with, connection was gone. So like, but at the same time I had this access to just like download and find music through the internet. So that ended up like LimeWire became my friend that would tell me about fucking
bands to
metalcore
listen
bands
to,
and
yeah.
shit. And then
You would type in a genre instead. Like, you wouldn't type in a band name.
Yeah.
You'd be in there like, oh, I want to listen to a metal
But
band.
the thing was, like, with me, it was always, like, I would download, like, 2 or 3 songs that would take so long.
Yeah.
They would sound like crap. But I would at least be like, oh, okay, tight. I'm going to go to the mall, and I'm going to buy this CD.
Yep. Yeah, it gave you that, at least the heads up.
Maybe that's what we need to do with the internet. We need to make sure that all the music sounds like crap when you stream it. Actually,
It already
you
does.
know what? Yeah. Actually, as a matter of fact, like I was in the car the other day, and I was like, oh, you know what? I want to listen to Jawbox, which is like one of my favorite bands. Plus, they're reuniting for a tour this summer, and I get to go see them in Brooklyn.
Fire it up.
So I'm pretty stoked. Anyways, I was listening to like my favorite album they ever put out via Spotify, and it was the remastered version, and I'm listening to it and I have it cranked up, and then it comes in like, you know, the bass and the drums come in the very first beginning part of the song, and I'm like, what the actual fuck? I was like, this didn't sound half as good as what it should sound like. I know this recording.
Yeah.
And I got pissed. I legit got pissed. I was like, no.
Behind the wheel,
And I just-
road rage.
Yeah, no, not that bad, but like, I just like shut it off. I was like, I'm just going to listen to a podcast. No, not going to do it.
You had to
like-
take a music break.
You won't ruined it, because I was like, I know how good this record should sound. And I bet you anything if I had my actual like old school iPod with me, and
It would have been bumping.
dude, it would have been really bumping, because it was it wasn't a solid state drive iPod. It was one of like the actual hard drive ones. Sounds really good.
No, I just need a turntable on in
Yeah,
your car.
dude, if I had a
man.
record-
Get that high quality.
Dude, if I had a record player, that'd be great.
it would scare
Ever
all
sit
the
in
time,
shock?
but other than
Yeah.
that, it'd be great.
No, you have it so it's like somehow it
Shock
floats.
resistant.
It floats within the car. So
That'd
that
be
way
nice,
it
man.
never...
See, this is growing technology, but bringing stuff back. I think we're onto
Exactly.
something.
Let's-
bringing
yeah.
analog and
Sort of
new
like what we've
technology
been
together.
talking about all along, you know?
Steady rumble, I'm not so steady, beat up living glitches, distortion rolling through my hands, a second addiction.
Is there anything else about the album specifically that you want out there for people to know?
I would like people to know that you can listen to it
Yeah.
for free. It is available on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, all the streaming services. If you're into trading cards, you can buy it from us. You can go on therealsikes.com and order it. Get a t-shirt too if you want.
Decorate your walls, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Send us,
still
like-
decorate your walls,
Decorate your
man.
walls. Put up some posters.
Go for it.
I mean, my bedroom looks kind of like this. It's a lot
Mine-
more mine's like I have one music wall, one movie wall.
Yeah.
Because then I blog in different spots, but
Ah,
I
Still.
like the utilization
I like
space.
that. That's smart.
it's because my dad wanted to murder me with all the thumbtack holes. Because I would rearrange my
Oh,
posters too. Like once it went up, it wouldn't stay up.
Yeah.
Like every couple months, I would rearrange my posters. So he still is mad at me for that one. But yeah, so now I use there's different ways now. We got some tape. I hated sticky tack. I refuse to use sticky tack.
At
That's-
least
remember
you
that.
had like
I used to
painted
use-
walls. I had this wallpaper up, and it was like textured, and my fam was not having
Textured
me.
wallpaper.
It's like it wasn't like smooth, you know what I mean? So I couldn't really. It would
Wear
left
that shit.
marks if I'd have sticky tacked it and everything. And yeah, mom wasn't having that game, so I had like the door. Like everything was on my door. I had a small closet door and the door to my room, and that was
You worked with what you had.
my one area to express myself in the house and let everybody know what it was and like what was going on in my life.
I think
Work with what you got.
yeah, whoever's watching, if you can find old pictures of your kid bedroom, leave it in the
Yeah.
comments. Or
That's
take a
a
little
great
video.
idea.
Like,
Or
I
your
wanna
door.
see-
If you were like me and you only had a door.
Like what was it? What was it? And what was the one? Like, do you still have something that was on your door that you make sure is still in your room now?
Oh man, I probably have it somewhere. I know I do. I played a ton of basketball, and I know somewhere I have. It was given to me. There was the Wheaties boxes came when Michael Jordan won the dunk contest. If you got like the right Wheaties boxes, you get the full. It was like a 3 tiered poster of him doing the slam dunk to win the dunk contest where he jumped from the foul line. You know, the famous picture, Jordan with the tongue out and like that whole nonsense. I had that poster. And Mom saved it for me. Thanks, Mom. So I'll get that up. I'm putting that on my door, man. I'm going back.
My childhood bedroom is now my mom's lighthouse room, where it's like lighthouse ornaments and stuff like that.
Oh, mine is now literally like a laundry
Which
little
I
closet.
love
'cause
my
it's
mom.
so small.
I'm actually going to see her tomorrow, but whenever I like stay there, like, you know, for Christmas or Thanksgiving, stay overnight, I'm like, yeah, this used to be so punk rock in here. And now it's like, you know,
No punk rock points anymore.
no punk rock points anymore. But I will say that, like, I add to like that fire, because like I will buy her lighthouse stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
Like I bought her like a lighthouse that you plug in. It's like this tall, like a big, huge ceramic one for Christmas
Nice.
a few years ago.
You gotta support what your friends and family like.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. She let
She
you
loves that
decorate
stuff.
your room.
she
Time to
did.
give back.
She did.
What about you? What's like, or is a lot of this from? But what's like one piece that you remember having as a kid that you might still
Oh,
have?
that's a good one.
I'm trying to look around real quick and see. Most of the stuff that's in my room that's in here now, none of the stuff is from when I was younger. Most of the stuff has been acquired in my adult years. I do still have some stuff rolled up in poster tubes from when I was a kid. I just don't have it hanging up.
Actually did the same.
The room that I spent most of my teenage years in was in an apartment building, and my mom doesn't live there anymore, so it'd be really interesting to tell whoever's living in that unit now all of the stuff that used to happen in that room. There was a whole lot of magazine cutouts and things like that, drawings from friends and stuff. Some movie posters. Yeah, but I don't really have any of that stuff anymore.
I feel like I have everything because I'm kind of a hoarder, but
Yeah.
I can't think of like one poster that I still have up. A lot of the stuff has been something I've gotten over the last 10 years, but I have like all the posters, like I had folding ones that came in magazines. I would buy them specifically.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I have like a whole drawer of that. I mean, I just
That's
have it
killer.
all.
I think
have to go through and
whenever I moved out of my mom's place when I was 17, and I think I lived in I probably moved once a year for the next like 7 or 8 years. Just
feel like I still
bouncing
do.
from fucking place to place, and
It's hard to hold on to stuff. Yeah.
the studio equipment was pretty much
Yeah.
studio equipment records.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm lucky because my room is still my room at my parents'. It's like redone and there's like not much on the walls, but
Yeah.
like I go there every 2 weeks. It's 3 hours away. I go there every 2 weeks and stay there. So
Yeah.
like I have a lot of my stuff still there. Plus I'm not living in a house right now. I'm in a house, but I only have one room, so all my stuff is there. So like once I get a house, it'd be fun to like just decorate everything.
Go back.
And
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to make a video of that. Just like reviewing and going through all this stuff and
Yeah.
picking what I'm gonna hang
Should.
on.
MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
MTV.
Love that show.
She'd do a Grey Walker, Sikes and New Balance Cribs at Colton I's place.
Like here's some
Una.
posters of the Ninja Turtles.
Here's some.
Here's some more posters of Ninja Turtles.
Here's a
Here's
couple
some-
empty beer cans someone forgot to throw away.
Here's some Primus posters.
Yep.
Here's a bunch of posters from Justin's bands. Here's Una, which is probably the most exciting thing about
The
this
dog.
house.
She's great.
Dogs
She
are-
is
Shout
great.
out to Una.
Shout out to Una.
Yeah.
I think I meet that dog when I did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
See,
Super
even
sweet.
I know.
Yeah, Una face.
All right, well, I think that's everything. We talked quite a bit and got some good stuff.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was-
Thanks for
Thanks
the
for
interview.
being my first interview back.
Dude,
Yeah,
we
You got
it.
it. Sorry we talk a lot.
No, it's fine.
Bye, everybody. Listen
See
to
you.
our music.
So that was the guys of Sikes and the New Violence. Mandy could not be there that day, but we're going to catch up with her really soon, so keep an eye out for that video. And if you haven't seen my show snippets of their show a couple weeks back at the Smiling Moose, go check that out, and I'll see you guys next time on 412s.